Good morning. Welcome back to stuff falling about all over the place. Morning and welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View this morning. Jesus, it's a bit dark in here. I need to open up the windows this morning. Um, Morning, welcome back to the channel, and it's an interesting day today because Celtic are in the Europa League draw in just around a few hours' time. But there are a couple of players that Celtic need to get rid of before the end of the transfer window. But before that, we're going to go into the Europa League draw, and I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen today and the full procedure, the teams that we will play, and the teams that will be in the draw. Everything that you need to know about the 56th season. 56 got a good number to it, isn't it? As long as we're going for 57. Anyway, the countries that Celtic will have the opportunity to go to in this year's UEFA Champions League draw. And Europe isn't for every team in Scotland, isn't it? Armenia, Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, Chechnya, England, by Bournemouth, Crystal Palace and Sunderland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Israel, Italy, the Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovenia, Spain and Turkey. So get your bucket and spade, your sombreros, your beach towels, and just hope that we get a decent away day and a nice hot place rather than maybe not Israel. Anyway, we end up well getting the Israelis, we know that, don't we? The league phase matches. The league phase matches of the Europa 2026-27 are on match day 1's on the 16th and 17th of September. Match day 2's the 15th of October. That's round about my birthday. We hope it's an away trip. Let's all pray for an away day on October the 15th. And October the 22nd is match day 3. November the 5th is match day 4. The 26th of November is match day 5. 10th of December is match day 6. 21st of January is match day 7. This is all in the league phase, remember. And then match day 8 is on the 28th of January. The knockout phases, which Celtic will be aiming for this season. We surely will have to be at least aiming for the knockout phase in these European matches. Knockout phase playoffs are on the 18th and the 25th of February. Round of 16 is the 11th and 18th of March. The quarterfinals is the 8th and 15th of April. Interesting. And then the semi-finals is the 29th of April and the 6th of May. And then the final is on the 26th of May. The 26th of May 2027. 26th of May 2027. And it's in Frankfurt, Germany. Can Celtic get all the way? I'm not going to say they will. I think that we need to see what players that we can get in the next couple of days. We need to get players in if we have any ambition of doing anything in the Europa. I mean, hopefully we can get to the knockout phase. Hopefully we can get straight into the round of 16. I mean, I do think that Martin O'Neill has the potential within his capacity as a manager to be able to get out of that. Anyway. Are you not recording? Yeah, I'm recording. I'm live on the channel. Why would you say I'm not recording? Anyway, so that is the Europa. I will be doing the draw live this afternoon. The Europa, an interesting bit of information about the Europa League trophy. The Europa League trophy is at 15 kilos, the heaviest piece of silverware in UEFA's arsenal. The 26-27 winners will also gain a place in the league phase of the Europa Champions League. So that's even more reason for Celtic to go on and try win this damn competition, because I think it's the only way that we'll get direct entry into the Champions League. If that's not motivation for the club, then what is? What a fantastic way for Martin O'Neill to hand over the reins of the management of the club to the next manager with direct entry into the Champions League after winning Europa. I know it's pipe dream stuff, but he does want to rectify what happened in 2003. And in 2003, we were knocked out of the Champions League that year also, and went on the run, although it was a bit of an easier run games wise. There wasn't as many games, was there? So, how did the Europa 26-27 league qualifying work? Well, we all know that there was a further 12 sides played out the games last night, and that is ready for the 36-team lineup, competing by choosing 11 teams transferring from the UEFA Champions League third qualifying round. Yes, Celtic were one of 11 teams that did not get into the Champions League and fell down into the Europa. So we're not alone. You know, there are some fantastic teams that we could come up against. Some cracking. There's Sturm Graz, who obviously dumped Hearts. Anderlecht in Belgium. And then obviously people will look at the English games. There's got Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Sunderland that we may come up against. France, we won't get Rennes because they're in the same group as us, but there is Lyon, not again. Remember that terrible, terrible night in Lyon all those years ago when Henrik Larsson broke his leg, and that was absolutely devastating for him, but he did come back a better player. And then when you go to Italy, there's Milan and Juventus. We know both teams well. Martin O'Neill definitely knows Juventus. Hello? Where did you come from? Oh, I see. You don't want to be on telly, do you? Juventus. And then Benfica. Benfica, big team in Portugal. Real Sociedad and Celta Vigo in Spain. If I could pick any trips, it would be Celta Vigo. I'm not sure about Juventus or Milan. Don't know, let's just see who we get in the draw this afternoon. Known us, we'll end up getting Sturm Graz, Anderlecht, Sunderland, and a trip to a country that not a lot of people like. Anyway, that is the good news this morning, that we are in the draw. When we look at the situation with transfers, I'm just going to wait and see what Celtic do. There's no use speculating on what may or may not happen over the next couple of days. We do have until Wednesday. I do expect Celtic to make some inroads either today, something to come out, or something over the weekend. Let's jump into some of your comments this morning. Vigo is some spot. Yep. Give me the away ties that you would like in the Europa. We'll get you Juventus, Benfica, Vigo, and Sunderland. That would be a cracking group for us to be in within the league phase stage. I mean, I think that we can beat Sunderland. I think we could beat Celta Vigo. Benfica's maybe the tricky one. Juventus, can we beat Juventus? Can Martin O'Neill get revenge for Juventus all those years ago, back in the early 2000s? What's Crete like in December? Still good. Still nice and warm. Be around about 20 degrees in December. So yeah, that would be a good trip to have. Celtic need to get rid of 2 players this weekend, though, and those 2 players could facilitate more spending in the transfer market, because we all know that we're around about 10 million up in profit already, and Celtic don't seem to want to spend money out the bank. So if we get rid of Rio Hatate, it's believed that Celtic have now reduced what they're asking for Rio Hatate. It looks like that one will go down to the wire if he is going to leave. And you've got to say, it's his agent needs to get the finger out, and Rio Hatate needs a big chunk of realisation. Rio Hatate seemingly turned down clubs because he wants to go to a top 5 league. Mate, if nobody's coming in for you from a top 5 league, what are you going to do? I don't know, it's as simple as that. You can only go to the teams, you can only take up the offers that's given to you. If your agent cannot get you, you need to change agent. If you're wanting a top 5, and I don't think that Rio Hatate realistically is going to get a team in the top tier of England coming for him. That would be crazy if they did, because he's such a lazy player sometimes. He does have moments of pure and utter brilliance. But when it's a 90-minute game and Rio Hatate doesn't play for 90 minutes, does he? That's the only thing. And his head goes down too much. The other player that Celtic really need to get rid of is someone that cost us £5 million just a year ago. He needs to get off the wage bill, and we need to try and recoup some of the £5 million that Celtic paid out. Now, there are a couple of teams in for Mikael Ange Balakwisha, but with Martin O'Neill having tried him in the midfield during pre-season due to the lack of available players in that position over the course of the summer, with players still being away at the World Cup and Celtic not going into the transfer market, what must Martin O'Neill really be thinking at this moment? Having had a list of 16 players depart the club at the end of last season, we've brought in 4 so far. The squad, never mind the first team, the squad is weaker. To fight on all fronts, Celtic need to bring in at least 6 players this weekend. Now, yes, we need, and we keep going on about it for years and years and years. We've been, and we're back to 2019, talking about we need backup for Kieran Tierney. We brought in Greg Taylor, and Kieran Tierney left. We needed backup to Greg Taylor, and that worked out a couple of times. Sirachi's probably been the best player that we've had at the club, and Celtic didn't want to make that permanent, which is unbelievable, because I think Sirachi... But then, again, Sirachi says, coming to Celtic cost me my World Cup place. So why would Sirachi want to come back to Celtic? You've got to say that as well. Maybe he thought about it and thought, do you know what? They cost me my place in the World Cup because I was sitting on the bench, because back up to Kieran Tierney. Says more about Celtic than anything with the inability of the club to bring through someone within our own setup. Now, we have been linked with a Chelsea player. It's believed that deal still could go ahead. It would be absolutely just Celtic life if the player turned around and said no to Celtic, because they aren't in the Champions League. Dennis says, I wonder if Martin O'Neill will change personnel, like the Hawks, James Forrest and Callum Osmond. Would you bring in those players this weekend? And how many games will Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain really get this season? It's got to be asked. Michelle says to Mikey, it's around about 15 to 17 degrees. That's not too bad in the summer, is it? That's like summer to you lot. We got hammered off Lask. We had a free game for most teams in Europe. Yeah, I still think that we can do better, and I think that Martin O'Neill will get the players doing better. What's with the negativity in the chat? Come on, we're in the Europa. European football's not for every team in Scotland, you know. Let's just leave it at that. We need players or we'll do nothing, says Chilwell. Yeah, we all know we need players, and I think that there will be around about, I reckon, 3 loan players will come in on deadline day and 2 will be brought in on a full-time basis in the next couple of days. Just wait and see. And I think Celtic might still spend in the region around about 15 million that's sitting there. We could spend more if we do sell a couple of players. Director Rotten. Taps off Crete in December. Yep, exactly. Tenecte is worse than Mikey Johnson. Oh, that's a dig and a half. God almighty. Celtic should pop along to Lockburn Park, Mary Hill, see how a proper football club is run. James Forrest offers more. Says, Dell, is CCV okay? I haven't kept up with the news for the last few days. I think it was just a thumb issue, wasn't it? Ox Mrs. probably plays better. Oof, Dane Murray sent out on loan. Dane Murray sent out on loan? Is he? Seriously? Has he been? I can't see that anywhere. What's this? I've just been sent something. Oh, wow. The meltdown at that other club's really went bonkers, hasn't it? Oh dear. Get him out now before seats are empty. They really do want him out, don't they? In half hour. Anyway, right. The draw for the Europa Cup league phase takes place today at 12 o'clock Celtic Park time, 1 o'clock Central European time. 36 clubs involved in the Europa League draw today will be split into 4 pots of 9. The draw procedure for the full list of participating clubs and pots will be available in the link below. Let's see the pots. So Celtic are in pot 2. Celtic are in pot 2, so we're missing out Rennes, Anderlecht, FC Salzburg, and quite a few other teams. Teams that we may get. I can actually put this up on the screen, can't I? I'll just do this. So this is the official pots. How's that there? That's not right. There we go. I'll put that over here. And where's the... There we go. I started all the fucking about last night. There are the teams that Celtic can get in the Europa this morning. Benfica, Bayer Leverkusen, Juventus, AC Milan, Olympique Lyon, and Real Sociedad. That's who I want out of that group, Real Sociedad. We'll end up getting Benfica, Juventus, or Bayer Leverkusen. Get a really strong team just to really piss us off. Pot 3, Sturm Graz, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Sunderland. The chances of Celtic getting an English team are quite high, obviously, because they have 3 teams in pot 3, which is terrible, but it is what it is. Or Celta Vigo. The chances of Celta Vigo or Cyprus. Watch this, we'll end up getting a trip to Poland in the dark depths of winter. Pot 4, Turkey. And or Crete. You get a Crete. Yeah, get Crete, that would be a good one. Known as we'll end up getting a little team from Holland. You've actually spent quite a bit of money this season, I do believe. Anyway, that are the teams. I will be going live. There is a live already set up this morning for the draw, so make sure that you do join me for that, and it'll be interesting to see who we get. I want Minikinis to stay to face Hearts. Rangers have drawn ABBA in the next round, and you can see where the chat's going this morning. Great result last night for the Gibraltar Red Imps away at Larne. Well, there you go, that's a fantastic way for them. Salzburg Rennes, there we go. That's oh god. Salzburg Rennes. I can't get Rennes. Rennes are in the same pot as us. That's the only good point. Anyway, it's just a short video this morning because I do have stuff to do before we go live again in just a few hours' time. The excitement is building, and not just the excitement, but are we getting ready for Beach Ball Sunday? Because not everybody likes European away days during the season, do they? And I think that will just be the fantastic place to end this video off. Beach Ball Sunday incoming, anybody? I think it could be, shouldn't it? Have a fantastic day, Celtic fans, wherever you are, all around the world.